Before we move on, I quickly want to show you how to configure your Cisco router as a DHCP server. This is the topology that we will use. On the right side is a router called DHCP. That will be our DHCP server. Here is the configuration. With the IP DHCP pool command, we can create a DHCP pool and call my pool. The network command tells the router for which network we need to hand out IP addresses. And optionally, you can include default gateway for the clients and the DNS server. In my example, I will include 192.168.12.254 as the default gateway. And the DNS server is 8.8.8.8, that's Google DNS. And if you want to exclude certain IP addresses from being handed out to DHCP clients, we use the following command. Use IP DHCP exclude address to configure a range of IP addresses that you don't want to assign to clients. In my case, I won't hand out 192.168.12.10 through 20. Note that the IP DHCP exclude address command is a global command. Let's see if our DHCP client receives an IP address from the DHCP server. We tell the router to configure its IP address through DHCP. Now, as you see, we received an IP address from the DHCP server. We can also verify this from the server itself by using the command show IP DHCP binding. Here, we can see that the DHCP server has given IP address 192.168.12.1 to our client. DHCP isn't difficult to configure, but there is one issue you might face. Let me show you something. Here, we have XP1 client on the left side connected to our router, and Windows Server 2012 connected on the right side that works as a DHCP server. Now, when XP1 tries to get an IP address and sends a DHCP discover, the DHCP server here is in a different subnet. What will our router do here? Routers don't forward broadcasts. So this DHCP discover will never make it to the DHCP server. There is a solution, however, called IP Helper that I'm going to use now. Let's check our server IP address configuration. Here, our server is configured with the IP address 192.168.23.3 and gateway 192.168.23.2. Now, I am going to configure our router interface FAST10 with IP address 192.168.23.2. This IP address is the gateway of our DHCP server, and the interface FAST00 will be 192.168.12.2. Let's configure our router with these IP addresses. Now I am ready to configure the IP helper. This little command will forward any DHCP messages and sends it with unicast to the DHCP server. The DHCP server will send the DHCP offer message back to the router, so it can be forwarded to the client. So keep in mind, when you don't have a DHCP server on the local subnet, use IP Helper to make the router forward the DHCP packets to the DHCP server. Let's now check our XP1 client IP address. As you see, it's obtained an IP address. Let's check it through our DHCP server. As you see, the DHCP tells us that there is a machine called XP1 obtained this IP address. I'd like to thank you for viewing. See you next video.